All right, I'm going to introduce our new Bible memory verse for the week, which is Matthew 16, verses 24 and 25. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it." Matthew 16, 24 through 25. So make sure you keep practicing that so that it is hidden in your heart. Our story today is called White Owl, Barn Owl. Our stories that I'm going to read this week are all about different birds, and we get to be creation enjoyers throughout this time. And as I was reading this, the first thing I thought of when I picked up this book was Owl Moon, the story by Jane Yolen that we looked at, and looked at the adventure that she went on with her dad. So see if you can find any similarities as we read through this. It's by Nicola Davies. One frosty winter day, I helped my grandpa make a big wooden box. "What's it for, Grandpa?" "It's for the barn owls to nest in," he said. "What barn owls?" I asked. But Grandpa just smiled. "Wait and see," he said. We carried the box across the tussocky field. I looked up tussocky last night when I was reading through this, and it's basically the tufts of grass all in a field, the way that you see it in the picture. It's beautiful illustrations. And then they give you a fact. So they're going to have a story, and then they're going to have some facts in the story as well. Barn owls like to nest in old farm buildings or hollow tree trunks. Where there aren't any, they will sure use a nest box instead. Grandpa put the box high in the old oak tree. "How do you know there are barn owls here?" I asked. "I've seen one sitting on that branch at night," Grandpa said. "Look, it's left something behind." Under the branch was a pile of little sausage-shaped blobs. They looked like dried poop, but Grandpa said they were pellets. Barn owl pellet, real size. You can see the size of that. Barn owls have favorite perches that they come back to again and again. "The owls spit them out," Grandpa said, "to get rid of the fur and bones they can't eat." He pulled a pellet apart and showed me the tiny bones and skulls inside. Owls swallow their prey whole. That's why they need to spit out the bones and fur. "Will the owl come to our box tonight?" "Maybe," said Grandpa. "Maybe not. Owls are wild birds. You can't be sure what they'll do." When the sun went down, we kept a lookout just in case, but we didn't see anything. "We'll have to be patient," said Grandpa. We were patient lots of times. I thought we'd never see an owl. In winter, barn owls have to fly miles every night to hunt enough food, so it's hard to find them then. And then, one spring night, just as the sky went pink, a pale face looked out of our box. An owl! A white owl! A barn owl! In spring and summer, owls stay close to their nests. Why would an owl stay close to their nests in spring and summer? And then Grandpa did a strange thing. He put his hand over his mouth and made a loud squeaky sound. Right away, the owl took off and flew toward us. "He thinks I'm a vole or mouse in the grass," Grandpa whispered. "He's coming to see if he can catch his dinner." I just held my breath. The owl's whiteness gleamed, and its face was like a pearly heart. So I loved this because at first I was thinking, oh, he's going to make a oohing sound like in Owl Moon. But instead of pretending that they were an owl, this time Grandpa pretended that he was the prey. A barn owl's huge eyes can see when it's too dark for human eyes to work. The heart-shaped ruff around the barn owl's face helps to guide sound to its super sharp ears, which are just holes under the feathers on its head. Oh, look how beautiful that owl is. Under their feathers, owls are slim. Their bones are hollow, which keeps their bodies light and makes flying easy. The owl came closer and closer, then landed in the tree, right by our hiding place. It was so light, it hardly bent the twig it perched on. I could see the tiny ruff of feathers around its face like stiff lace. I could see the speckled browns on its back. I could see the shine of its big dark eyes. I could have reached out to touch its velvety softness. I love all the descriptive words that the author uses on that spot. You can really paint a picture in your head. And then it raised its wings like an angel and took off. It was so quiet, all I heard was my own heart beating. Owls' wing feathers are especially soft, so owls can move through the air silently and fly up to their prey without being heard. The owl flew back and forth over the field. Then another owl came to join it. "Oh, that's its mate," Grandpa whispered. One owl dropped to the ground and came up again. Look, Grandpa, it's caught something," I said. Barn owls catch their prey by pouncing with their long legs and needle-sharp teeth. You can see that it caught something. The owl flew straight to the box and went inside. His snore, twitter, twitter, his snore. The weirdest sounds came from Grandpa's box. "They've got a family," Grandpa whispered. "That's the baby owls squabbling over their dinner." Barn owls lay up to 6 eggs, which hatch one after another. The first chicks to hatch are the biggest, and the last to hatch are the smallest. I held Grandpa's hand, and we walked home as the moon came up. "Will the barn owls always nest in our box now, Grandpa?" I said. Grandpa smiled. "You know," he said, "I think they might." Barn owls will come back to the same nest site year after year if it stays safe and there is enough to eat nearby. And then on the back, it gives you some information about a nest box. So, on modern farms, the open grassland where barn owls like to hunt is often plowed up, and old trees and barns where they can nest are taken down. So barn owls have become rarer. So their habitat is getting destroyed, so they don't have as many places to live. One way to help bring them back is to put up nest boxes. So this would be a way you could be an earth keeper during this time. The barn owl nest box in this book is very sturdy and weatherproof, so it will last outside in a tree. But nest boxes inside barns, protected from wind and rain, can be very simple. Just an old crate will do. All nest boxes should be 10 to 15 feet up to be safe from predators and people, and should have nothing in the way of the entrance so that the owls can fly right in. You can get information about how to make a nest box and where to put it from your local wildlife protection organization. So this would be when we would contact Sarah Davlar or Sunday Ford. Sometimes it takes a while for owls to use a nest box, but be patient, and you could have a barn owl family in your box. Then on the bottom, we have our index. It says, look up the pages to find out about these barn owl things. Don't forget to look at both kinds of words, this kind and this kind, because this kind was our story and this kind was the information that came through. All right. Then at the very end of the story, I wanted to show this to you. These are a bunch of other books that Nicola Davies has written. If you liked this, where it's a story and the facts, these are some more that you could look up at the library and see what you can find. All right. Hope you were enjoying the Creation Enjoyers, and if you want to, you can definitely be an earth keeper to put together a nest box as well. All right. I hope you have a great day. I miss you, and work hard today. Bye.